Good morning, good afternoon, family. How are you today? If you're here, if you're joining me, say something in the comments. Hello, goodbye, something, so I know you can hear me and see me. And let's chat. Daily Dose of Dan. I'm still wondering if that's not the right name or not. I don't know. Microphone is on. Hey, good afternoon, Laura. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Productive conversations. I feel like we've had some good ones lately. You certainly have taken part in those. What do I want to share with you today? Today was another one of those days where I'm doing some work-related stuff and just didn't have the time I would have liked to plan. So note to self, add more time into my personal schedule to plan for these lives. But I do have a couple quotes that I came across that I wanted to share. And the first one is reference leadership. And it comes from my friend Simon Sinek, and it says, leadership is not a journey to rise in the ranks. You know, in the military, we talk about leadership all the time. And hello, Jamie. Great to see you. So in the military world, we've always talked about leadership, and we talked about what that meant. And it meant, you know, leading and a journey to the next rank, actually, the next level. But if you were to look at leadership, leadership isn't about rising in the ranks. Leadership is a journey to help those around us rise. And I think that that's an often misinterpreted component of leadership. We think that the more we rise in the ranks, the more our influence grows and our ability to lead grows. The truth is, the more people you enable to grow, the more people you enable to rise in the ranks. And I'm going to go back to my military experience again, and that the more people I taught how to be better soldiers, how to go to the boards and get promoted and deal with situations that they encountered from day to day, the more I was able to lead effectively. So that's one quote I wanted to share with you and some personal experience. But then, let's see here. My other friend, Seth Godin, just a genius. But today's quote from him was about the best available option. The best available option. That's not the same as perfect. The best available option is always available to us. Perfect almost never is. If you care enough to contribute, you can care enough to not wait for perfect. And that's what I want to share with you based on all of the conversations that we've had, is too many times we spend time chasing perfection before we go do the thing, or we go sell the thing, or we go build the thing. We want it to be just so. And the truth is, if we wait for perfect all the time in everything that we do, we'll never go anywhere. We'll never get to that point. And very rarely will perfect come along when we need it, when we want it, and how we want it. So again, I didn't take a whole lot of time in planning, but those two quotes came across my desk this morning, and I was like, this is perfect. I think that they tie in well to the things that we've discussed. And I'll stop there and say, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, what your comments are. Will, good to see you, my friend. I'm eating grapes, sorry. So yeah, I'd love to hear your comments. What do you wait for perfect? And I'm still thinking on this leadership as a journey to help those around us rise. But are you doing everything you can to enable those around you to rise? What are they doing? How can you simply be better and better there for them? As a matter of fact, let's see, that brings me to another one I came across this morning, actually. And here it is. It's a simple question, and it might be morbid from some people's perspective, but I don't think it is. It's, what will people say about you at your funeral? And I think it's a very thought-provoking question. Because if what they're going to say about you right now isn't the value that you hoped they would find in their relationship with you, what can you do to change it? And that ties back to our conversations as well, right? What is your vision for your future, and how do you start moving in that direction? And I think this is another way to ask that question. And what are people going to say about me at my funeral? I hope that they'll say nice things. But if I'm not doing the work today to enable them to say those nice things, then I'm not living the life I'm supposed to be living. And Jamie says she does usually wait for perfect or near perfect. And oftentimes I feel like that just stops us in our tracks, Jamie. We just can't accomplish the things that we set out to accomplish if we wait until perfect. And Laura says, what is perfect? If everything was perfect, where would the dilemma lie? Yeah, great question. Philosophical. Laura agrees with Jamie. It does have to be near perfect, or perfect enough for me, as I like to say. So I'm a big fan, and I believe the same thing for a long time. But I'm a big fan of simply taking action and discovering what's on the other side of action. I would rather shoot for a C+ or a B and worry about adjusting and creating an A+ later. Because I've realized that if I just don't start, because I'm waiting for perfect or near perfect, that it's just never going to be there. Jamie says, not on everything, but for work products, absolutely. And I think about the funeral thing often. The best way to avoid that is to not have one. Yes, Jamie, the best way to avoid that is to not have one. But I hope that it provides some thought-provoking changes, or at least some material for you to think about. Jamie says she agrees 100% with me, but there it is, stopping me in my tracks. Jamie's on a roll today, huh? It would be perfect if you only had to consider yourself. Yeah, so the question there, Laura, would be, whose perception of perfect are you following in that case? Because I think if you examine it, other people's expectations of you are not the same as you hold of yourself. And so your version of perfect is probably much more than they're looking for. And I want to go back. Let's see. Jamie said, oh, not on everything, but for work products. You know, in the intelligence field, I can agree that, you know, we want to do our best to have a near perfect product that we're delivering, because if it's not and there's mistakes, then it becomes a problem for multitudes of other people potentially. And so I get that, but I'm not talking about work necessarily. I am talking about I'm talking about creating a life and building a life and work and all the things that we can love and appreciate and be respected for at some point. You know, when people come to our funeral, they're going to say good things about us, not because we were heroes to anybody, but because we did good for other people. And we lived, you know, the difference between living and not living. You know, going to work and basing our decisions on what others' expectations are for us is no way to live. I want you to be encouraged to live in the moments, to have genuine, you know, curiosity about the people and the life around you right now. Not mine, Laura says. The imperfectness of the whole thing. And then Will says, yeah, 80% solution will do most of the time. And you know, you can always work on improving. But I'm suggesting you just start. You just get out there. You start making a difference in one person's life, in your life, in the lives of the people you encounter on a day-to-day basis, whatever it may be. And Laura doesn't like to think about the funeral thing. Yeah, I know. I said some people might feel it's morbid, but you say you would hope that they'd say nice things. And I think for the most part, any of you here, there are people who are going to say nice things about you. I will say nice things about all of you. And Will said it isn't how he pictured it when he's working on things. No, often that's the case, Will. I can't eat these grapes while I'm on a live stream. What else? What else? I hope to come better prepared tomorrow. I've got a bunch of stuff on my plate today, and I just wanted to make sure I showed up for you, and we had some conversation. Hopefully it was thought-provoking. Hopefully it gives you some things to work on. Hopefully you've taken time to identify what you want your life to look like in 3 years, and 5 years, and 10 years. And then, of course, what is it that you want people to say about you, whether it's at your funeral or right now? And what do you want people to say about you right now? When they talk about you, Will, you, Laura, or you, Jamie, what do you want them to say? Thanks, Jamie. You want me to eat the grapes. I don't know if that's because you're screen capturing this and you're going to share this with the world. What's up with that? ASMR, maybe? The sound of eating grapes? Watching other people eat? My daughter watches those videos. I don't get it. She watches these other people eat noodles. It's the weirdest thing ever. All right. Well, I've shared most of what's on my mind. I mean, I've got lots of things on my mind, but I think I've shared most of what was on my mind for the message here today. And I hope that I hope that each of you will go out today as you go about your lives and think about how you can lift other people up. You know, maybe it's just smiling at, well, if you've got a mask on, I guess that's difficult, but people can see your smile in your eyes. You know, maybe say hi to someone you wouldn't normally say hi to on your way to do whatever. Maybe you just stop in and ask somebody how they're doing today. I don't know. Maybe you pick up the phone and call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe I don't have a clue what I'm trying to say. But I hope that you're encouraged to go out and make a difference in someone's life today. Make a difference in your own life. Do the thing, whatever it is. Do the thing that you've been putting off. You've been waiting for perfect. Today is your day to shine. I believe in each and every one of you. As always, I am grateful for you being here, and I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody.